Folks, what I do want to just say that it's my absolute pleasure to be here today. My name is Nick Rajpara. I'm with the Small Business Administration. I just wanted to, what I'm going to do in the interest of time, I think the best way to handle time is I might put a slide or a URL in the chat, where which provides points you to SBA resources, just for your reference, folks, everyone on the call. The Women's Business Center is an SBA resource partner. Daniela and her team have just done awesome in their programming that they put on. I just wanted to make you aware of the resources of the Small Business Administration. You're not on your business journey alone. There are a lot of wonderful resources available to you for you to consider, to utilize. The Women's Business Center is one of them, but there's many others. I will put what I will do for today is I could, go deeper if we have time at the end. And if not, I could put a link or a slide or something in the chat, and we can just take it from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and begin. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I know this is a kind of a hot topic. I've been sharing this with some of my clients over the last couple of weeks. And some of them have told me this has been a game changer for their business. So welcome to How to Leverage ChatGPT for Your Business. We will be taking questions at the end of my presentation. So if you have questions, I think Danielle put it in the chat, please use the Q&A function on this Zoom, and we will try to get as much questions that we can answer after my presentation. I want to go over like 10 things on 10 ideas on how you can use ChatGPT. So I'm going to go ahead and begin. So one of the clients have volunteered to be a guinea pig for this presentation. So I'm going to be using a lot of her information from her website to do 10 different type of prompts that I think will help you in your business, especially when it comes to getting funding, especially when it comes to social media, especially when it comes to creating programs and services and products for your business that can help boost your business and in turn give you long-term growth and sustainability and also allow you to thrive. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is, if you haven't heard ChatGPT, let me just run past it. It is an AI capability that will allow you to do some things in half the time. And with so much information on the internet and so much noise out there, it does help you able to decipher some of the information, especially when you need research. It'll really give you research specific information that you are requesting. It also help you save time if you get writer's block or just don't know where to begin, and you want to make an impression on whether it's a SBA or whether it's a grant or a client. It really will help in it. And you can also use it. I'm not going to get into it today, but you can also use it to help you do contracts, all kind of stuff. But today I wrote 10 basic things that prompts I think will help. The first one is in business planning. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, so typically I'm going to go ahead and get the mission statement off her website. I said the client volunteered to be a guinea pig today. And what I want to do now is in the prompt method is I'm going to now tell ChatGPT, based on the mission statement, I'm going to tell it to write me a business plan, a lean business plan for this business. So all you have to do, so once you log in, you have to create an account. It is free. It's only free to do, you're only allowed to do 100, if you use the free version, you're only allowed to do 100 prompts or questions per se a day. Not really a day, but a period of time, then you have to wait. If you have the paid version, it's kind of, you have a little bit more, you can do a little bit more. I'm not sure, I don't know what the magic number is, but it won't cut you off. But there is some limitations that you can't just go crazy and try to do 400 prompts in 1 hour. They allow you to do 100 and then tell you to come back and try. And sometimes it gets information overload and you have to wait. So this is once you hear, it's going to look like this. And what the beauty about the on the left-hand side, you see that it will save all your previous prompts. And so, and they call them as a chat. So basically you're chatting with this AI system. So all I'm going to do right now is the first thing is we're going to talk about business plan. That's a lot of things people know. I need a business plan. I don't know how to do a business plan. Can you please help? This is what ChatGPT will do. So remember I told you I went to the client's website, got the kind of like the mission statements. Actually, I'm going to use this, the about us, not that's about the person. And then I'm going to put in here, I'm going to say create a business plan for business plan based on this mission statement. Okay. And I always just put like a colon or a comma, whatever you're going to do. And then you want to cut and paste that. Then you're going to hit the enter button. And you're going to see what it's going to do. It's now going to start creating a business plan based upon the mission statement. And it takes a minute. It's going to give you everything. You're going to have to always tweak it though, to make sure it's something that you want it to say. So it's going to keep going. I'm going to let it go. As you probably are looking at it now, and you're probably like, oh my. That's what I said when I first started using it. And really to help my clients is, especially if you get a writer's block and you don't know where to begin, you can always change the information. And sometimes you will get this. Sometimes that's because it's a system. What you want to do is, if you wanted to continue, you would just kind of in the function, just put continue. And it'll continue. Okay. So now you see that this is basically a lean business plan based upon the mission. You're still going to have to, let me go back up while it's doing the conclusion. So now you're going to see that it's giving you the mission statement back to you. And based on that mission statement, it's giving you an idea of an executive summary, your company description, your market analysis, things like that. So if you don't like it, the good thing about it is if you don't like it, you can always hit the regenerate response. It will create a whole other response, ideas until you find out if you like it or not. So I'm going to hit regenerate response. And what's it going to do is it's going to give you another, based on the conclusion. I did it on the conclusion. It's going to keep giving you until you like it. Now, if you go back up here, you might say, well, I noticed something's missing. I need a startup budget. So what you can do is, if you notice, like there's only going to give you a basic. So if you feel like you need more, you can say like add a startup budget for this mission statement. So what you want to do is, you're never going to want to get a new chat. So it's going to start remembering. So if you're working on one project, you just want to work on this one chat. You don't want to go over here and create a new chat, because what it will do is it will remember what you put up here in the mission statement. So you want to say, create a startup budget for this mission. And I always say, and use a chart format. So I'm just a visual person. So now watch what it does. So some of you are probably like, oh my goodness. Yes, that's what I did when I first did this. So now it's giving me an example startup budget in a chart format, so that I can see exactly idea. Now you're gonna have to tweak it. This is not, of course, it's not going to be your ideal budget, but it's going to give you some ideas of what to put in your budget. And everything is cut and paste. You can just cut and paste it into a Word document. They don't have a function. They have this, you can click here now to do that, put it to clipboard, and then it's in the clipboard. You can always just kind of right click it, hit the print function, and then kind of turn it into a PDF, something like that. And then you can work off of it. So now it's giving me a budget. Then it's like, if you feel like, so you could just keep feeding and feeding it. And this is how do you use ChatGPT to create your business plan. Even if you feel like, you know what, I need a little bit more information on market analysis. you can tell it to provide more information on market analysis. All you gotta do is cut and paste that. It don't have to be fancy. Just hit the enter button or hit the green arrow. And what it will do is start giving you more information on your market analysis. Now, if you also want to know, is this a viable business? What kind of stats and information can help me, be more persuasive in my appeals and my trying to get investors, whatever, you can then go and say, please, and sometimes I do please, because I don't know. I will say, please provide, let's say, stats and facts for this mission statement. So now what it's going to do is they're going to tell you they don't have real-time statistics, but because ChatGPT only goes back to 2021. That's the data they pull in from the internet. Let's go back to 2021. But you see right here, it's now giving you some stats that you could possibly use for if you have to use it for your business plan, you need to do a statement of need. It will definitely give you that. My suggestion is also you want to fact check, because sometimes I've noticed they give you a number. I just always want to make sure that you fact check. And you can actually use this to fact check. So you can say something like, you could just cut and paste this and says something like provide a citation or reference. And then you could say maybe possible web link. It's going to help you find that citation. And so, right, sometimes you might get this. It might say, we apologize, we can't do it. Sometimes you'll get that, then that's a questionable citation. And you can always just go to the organization, to their website and see that. So sometimes you might get this, oh, this is AI language, I can't help you with that. Sometimes it will do it, sometimes it won't do it, okay? So that's basically how you would use ChatGPT for business planning. And so you can kind of even do it like, one thing I noticed not missing on here, because I just did a lean one, but if you're doing a full one, I know there's not a competitive analysis. So I can say need a competitive analysis statements or section. You don't and it's going to remember everything you put up there. So you don't have to keep like re-emphasizing. So there you go. So it will definitely, and then it'll give you some ideas of who to look at, right? So you can take this. So it's going to be a really big boiler point for you. I would not just submit, let this be your, unless you feel like everything is on point with your mission, with your vision, then you can use whatever ChatGPT gives you. As I mentioned, if you feel like this is, the business plan. Now I want to show you something really quick before I get on. So now I remember I told her to revise it and things like, so now I'm going to say, now revise the business plan to include all changes. And it's going to do that. So everything that I told it to add more stuff and feed more stuff. Now I'm telling it to revise it, adding the stuff that I asked them to do. And so you can see that it's doing that. So remember before it didn't have competitive analysis. Now it's putting it in there. It's adding more to the marketing and sales strategy because I asked it to do a budget. And so it'll kind of really give you an idea to at least get you started. You're probably going to always advise, and if you do a business plan, you're going to have to revise it on a continuous basis. So just keep adding into it. Test it, push ChatGPT to a limit. If you don't like what it's saying, like number 9, you can say, provide an example. If you want to get some clarity, you can have it give you an example. And sometimes it thinks. So now it's giving me financial projections based upon what I need. So the other one is a startup budget that I showed you how to do. This one is now, it's going to create your financial projections, give you examples, some financial projections that you can do. And you can also tell it to give you a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year projections. So that's how you kind of do use ChatGPT to do your business plan. The next thing I want to go into, and again, I'll be able to answer questions at the end. So if you have any more further business plan questions on how to use ChatGPT, we can answer at the end. So next, always get people ask me, I have a lot of clients who get stuck on social media. I don't know what to post. I'm not really good at this. You know, I get writer's block. So mind you, I still have the mission. So I'm going to say something of right, create me a social media plan. So it's doing that. So it's taking the mission and it's giving me a social media plan. It's giving me my defined goals and objectives, to identify my target audience. What is telling me what platforms, based on my business, what platforms should I be focusing on? Like for this business, it's giving you Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Then it tells you, now I'm going to tell you how to develop a content strategy, how to engage, how to get community involvement. So now you have a social media plan. And this is good. Once you do this and you tweak it and stuff like that, if you have a social media manager or a virtual assistant, you can just literally give it to them and say, here, this is my social media plan for my business for 2023. Can you work on this? Now, if you're doing your own social media, and it also, good thing too, is also giving you some advertising ideas, how to do advertising campaign on Facebook and Instagram, things like that. So now if you say, okay, I got my social media plan, I know what I want to do. I'm not going to hire nobody. I'm capable of doing it myself, but I'm busy, and you know, social media takes a lot of my time. What you can do is you can then tell it, say, you can tell it to say, give you 30 days of social media content. And watch this. So it's now going to give you 30 days of social media ideas for social media content. It's literally going to give you examples of social media content. I'm not going to let it go all 30 days. I'm going to stop it. So, but you can see here that it'll give you 30 days. Now, if you want a little bit to elaborate a little bit more, so if you say that it'll give you 2 different ideas for day 1, you can you can share your mission and your vision, or you can share a heartwarming testimonial. So you can, let's just say, we're going to use the introduction. So I'm going to say, create a social media post for this. I'm going to put a colon. And then I'm going to say, yeah, but do it like this first. I'm just going to say that. And I'm going to say something like include captions and emojis. So I love emojis. Okay. So now it's going to do that. So now it's writing your social media post for day 1. So it's literally, once you design the image, it's literally, and it's also going to give you some ideas of hashtags. I didn't ask it to do it, but it does it. So now you're going to say, you just pick, you go up here, you pick, they give you 2 ideas. I'm going to go with the introduction, tell people who I am. I'm introducing my business, and I'm going to do introduction posts. Now, what you can also do, if you have a certain personality, or you have a theme, or if you're quirky, if you just want these people that are straight up, no nonsense type of person, you don't want to sugarcoat anything, you just want to be direct, you can literally say, rewrite this to be more witty and attention grabbing. So like I said, you can feed it. So now it's gonna change it to be more witty, to be more, not less boring per se. So you can kind of tell it. So the good thing about this is that you can tell it to meet your personality. So if you're quirky, or if you're introvert, or you're shy, or we really want to come across as like, look, I'm this, I'm a straight chaser. whatever, you could just put it in and tell it so it feels like it's coming from you. Now you can always look and see, okay, I don't like the values. You can ask it to change the values. You can also say, can you create, say, 6 more hashtags or something. I don't know. It's going to give you 6 more possible hashtags that you can use. Okay. So no more trying to find hashtags, no more, and you can also tell it to find you the most popular hashtags in this situation. So this is how you can use social media, use ChatGPT to help your social media. So let's recap what we did. We told it to create a social media plan. Now, when I told it to create a social media content calendar, it used the plan as a way to do this. And then you can always, so now if you into like, now I showed you posts, I'm going to show you how to do, if you're a person that does a lot of reels and do the videos on social media, you can tell it then to give me like 10 days of Instagram and TikTok reel hooks. Okay. So now it's going to give you 10 ideas of hooks you could use for social media. You could take these hooks and put it over mute of a video. It could just be words and you have music in the background, or you can just use it to kind of how to do it. So it's going to give you, it gave you 5 Instagram hooks and it's going to give me another 5 TikTok hooks. So you can kind of use this as an example of how you want to do it. So it's really going to help. Not only we talked about business planning, it's going to also help you with your social media. Because a lot of times we do get stuck. We don't know what to post or what information. It kind of give ideas. And you can always tell it, say like, I do like this, but can you change it this way? You can do that. It will absolutely do it for you. And so that's kind of how you can use it for ChatGPT for your social media. Now, if you wanted to create a Facebook ad, you can say, create me one Facebook ad post. And it's going to do that based upon your mission statements. Now, one thing it's not going to do is it can't design stuff for you, but I'm going to show you what it can do. It can give you an idea on how, so now you found the post that you like, right? So you're going to do this, say you want to do this advertising. You got the language for the advertising. It's not going to actually design something for you, but what it's going to do is I can tell it to, can you provide an example? Can you design example of a post, of a post? Sometimes it may, okay, so it won't do it. Hold on. Sometimes you may get this and it won't do it, but you can say, I'm gonna go back and say, provide a design idea for this post. Let's see. So sometimes it's not going to always work the way you want it to, but now it's doing it. So it's telling me so I have the advertising I want to do. Now I want to figure out how to design it. So if you do Canva yourself, Canva's a good way if you're going to do yourself. It's telling you to use warm and inviting palettes. It's telling you what the headline should be. It is giving you a call to action, things like that. So it's kind of giving you an idea and you just take it and run with it when you go back to Canva. So now we talked about the 30 days. So let's get into more of, so we talked about the business plan, how to use it for social media. And let me tell you something, you're not restricted. You can use it for a lot of different things, but I'm just going to give examples of some things, some of the questions I've gotten from clients over the last couple of months, things they get stuck on. So another thing people get stuck on is they want to do a pitch contest or somewhere they're trying to get money, when a contest to get some money. So remember, if you keep the same mission statement at the top, you don't have to create new chats on the left. So I can say now is create me a pitch. Create me content for a pitch contest. And it's going to do it for you. Sometimes it'll take a minute. So now it's going to give you oh no, wait a minute. So it's acting like, let me redo it. So for me, pitch create content for a pitch contest I am applying for based on my mission statements. Okay, sometimes you don't get it right the first time. Don't worry about it. So now it's giving you ideas for a pitch contest. So you will say like your name, change agent entrepreneur. It's giving you some language to use in your pitch contest that you want to apply for. It will give, and then you can also say, this is great if you have to do a write-in. So I'm going to stop it here. Now you're going to say, I need a script. So if you have to do a video, so you can say, I need a 3-minute video script. And it's going to do that. It's literally going to give you a script. So if you're using a teleprompter, so like one good thing about it, if you have an iPhone or smartphone or tablet, if you go into the app store, you can literally go get a free teleprompter. So when you're doing videos, it come on your screen and you can do that. So you can literally take the script that it wrote for you, put it in the teleprompter by going to either in your Google Play Store, your Apple Store, get a free teleprompter, and now you can put the content in it. So now you can really have a script, and a lot of these systems have the teleprompter that you can change the speed to adjust to your style. Some people can't read as fast, like the people in news. I don't know how they read that fast, but you can have it made to your speed. But now you have a script to do a 3-minute video pitch contest. So this is how you can use it for a pitch. Again, you can, if it's not your tone, you want something more witty, you can say rewrite to be more wittier. And then you can just do it like that. And it will give you a little bit more thing. You can even tell it, you can use a metaphor. If your metaphor is like gardening, it would, if you have an analogy you want to use, if you're comparing your business, like your services to like gardening, you can put it in there and tell it to do. Push it to the limit. It will do what you tell it to do. So, if you want it more a certain way, or if you want it in a certain voice, you can say it like this. Write it in a Snoop Dogg tone. So now it's going to tell you, like, if Snoop Dogg was going to write it, you want to sound like a Snoop Dogg, it's going to give you a funky type of thing. And that's how cool this is. You could tell it, write it as if Denzel Washington would say it, or write it as Sandra Bullock will say it. It will try its best to do it. So if you're kind of one of these people that likes to entertain while you're trying to educate it, you can change your tone to fit like what a celebrity would do. So that's how you do the pitch contest. So let's move on to, since we're into pitch, which give you money, let's move on. How do you now use this? Because now we just fed it. We fed it a lot of stuff. We gave it business plan ideas. We gave it social media. We gave it content. We gave it pitch. Now it's like, okay, I'm on a ball. I've been doing my 30 days. I am ready to go. Now I need to start writing a grant proposal. So I can say now, write a grant proposal. I'm just gonna make money. I'm just gonna make it up for a grant for, say, $5,000. So now it's gonna take everything that I wrote up there, and it's gonna actually start writing the grant proposal. That's why I say don't enter a new chat, because then it's gonna have to remember you all over again. Okay. So basically, once you put your mission in there, it's gonna kind of give you ideas based upon your mission. So right now it's just giving me an outline. So what I can do is, this is a great thing. So sometimes it's not perfect. So you're probably like, well, why is it not giving me that? All you have to do then is you can just literally just cut and paste this in there and say, write the executive summary. And don't worry about the spelling too. It's somehow it still picks it up when you do wrong spelling. So now it's writing the executive summary for the grant. So don't worry about if you just get an outline. That's great, because maybe you don't need it to write your executive summary. You already have it. You just don't know what to put in a grant proposal. And this goes for whether you're a for-profit or nonprofit. You can definitely do that. You can also get it to, I'm going to stop it right now because I don't want to go too long, but you can also tell it to give you a statement of need. Because remember, we asked for stats and figures in the beginning. So we can also ask to write a statement of need. So write a statement of need. Okay. Now it's going to do that. Now it's literally going to give you the statement of need that you need. Based upon, so you see right here, all those statistics they give you, they also putting it now. So the same statistics here are the same statistics they put up that was up here that we did earlier. So that's how you use ChatGPT to do a grant proposal. Whether you're a nonprofit or whether you are for profit, you can definitely do that. So now we at the point we're ready to get money, ready to get funding. So now I'm trying to figure out, is it any more? How do I also do any more revenue generating things? And whether it's going to be, so I can ask it. So I can say, can you create me 10 digital product ideas? So it's going to give you 10, based on the mission statement, it's going to give you some ideas on how to make more money for your business. Whether you're going to do an online platform, are you going to create a productivity app, a finance tracker? So I didn't tell it. So it's just giving you some ideas. So what the mistake I did was I didn't tell it to go based on my mission statement. So I'm going to go back and say, and all you have to do, if you don't like, you can just hit this edit button here or look like a pen, and you can say, based on my mission statement. And then sometimes you may not like what it says, or you didn't understand you completely. You can always go back and hit that edit button and do that. So now it's going to give me some ideas, a platform. It's going to give me, maybe I should do some empowerment webinars. Maybe I should develop a mental wealth wellness app, things like that. So this is how, I'm not going to go too much into it, but it'll give you some digital ideas. And then one of the things people always ask me is about pricing. So you can say, like, provide me sample pricing options based on my mission. And it will do that. It will give you examples. So they're saying you can offer a basic care package, enhanced care package, deluxe care package. It will give you an example of pricing. Again, you can change it. A lot of times we get stuck on, like, I don't know what to do. What's reasonable and not reasonable. It will kind of give you some ideas, and it will tell you why I think it's worth that, because look at the description. So again, you can use it for any and everything to really boost your business, so that way you can have a thriving business, and you can just ask whatever you want to. And sometimes in between counseling sessions, you just need somebody to help do something. It is really great. And as Nick mentioned when he did his presentation, that he's heard how it's changing people. It is really changing people, businesses for the good, and so that they can really dive into what they want to do for the business. and not get stuck on these things that they just don't know. They don't, it's hard to, get somebody to help you. You can now tell it to do outlines for you where you can figure it out yourself. And then also, again, you can actually tell it to write a digital product. So you can say, write me an ebook based upon my mission statements. Like I said, don't worry about the spelling. It'll fix it. So now it's writing an ebook called Change Agents, Transforming Community Through Deluxe Care. It's going to give you the chapters. It's going to give you everything. So it's not going to write the chapters for you because you have to tell it. So then I can say, I'm going to stop it here. So then I can say, well, write chapter 1. And it's going to write chapter 1. So now you have, a lot of times we use ebooks as lead magnets to get people in so we can get their email address. So this is a great way to do that. You can also say, create me a series of checklists. It will do that for you too. So maybe your checklist will be your ebook. And look what it did. It's giving you the check mark boxes, everything. And of course, you have to go through it and say, I don't like this. I can always say, I don't like this one. And then I can say, replace this. And then I can say with something else. I don't know. And it will literally do that. It will, whatever you don't like up there, you can tell it to replace it. So it gave you, so instead of saying respect their dignity, it'll say acknowledge autonomy and honor their individuality with genuine. So it'll give you something different. So this is how you can use it to actually boost your business, to come up with more products, more services that's going to really affect your bottom line. Again, you can ask it for any and everything. Always remember though, is to fact check it, make sure, go to the source. And you always, like I said, you really want it to be your authentic self. So whatever your personality is, however your writing style is, if you're more quirky, if you're really happy person, if you want to be a more serious content, you can tell it, no, I need it. I'm trying to relay something that's very serious. It's a serious nature. I need empathy in this message. It will write it in an empathetic message. It will do that for you. So basically, I'm going to open up for questions. I know you all got questions. I see it in the chat. If you want me to try something to see how it works, don't be afraid to ask that question. So I think I covered most things I wanted to cover is how to use it for pitch, how to use it for grants, how to create a budget, how to do social media content, how to write a business plan. I think I've covered how to get some ideas for ebooks. Oh, I didn't show you website content. So you can say here, based upon my mission statement, please write website content. Because a lot of people get stuck on what the content to write. So it's going to give you some it's going to give you some website content. So you can add, you can use it for, like I said, I'm giving you examples of everything you can use it for. You need website content. Now, if you want to say here, let me go back to here. I'm going to get the founder's information. And I'm going to say here, now I need a bio. I'm going to say I need a bio. Here is more about me. I'm just going to click it here. And just start typing anything. You don't have to be complete sentences. Just start typing. So now it's going to give you a bio based upon, you could just start writing stuff. I went to University of Texas. I studied biology. I worked at Amazon for 12 years. This is what I did. And if you put it in there, it's going to write you a really nice bio. And you can use, like I said, you can use it for everything. If you want to need a press release, you can say, write me a press release for the launch of Deluxe Care LLC. It would do that. Now it's going to write you a press release because now you just launched your business. You wrote your business plan. You got your social media going. You're ready to go. Now you want to do a press release. It'll write you a press release. It would also, hold on a second. So you do the press release. Now you're like, I want to write some blogs. So you can say, create 10 possible blog titles based on my mission statement. Because remember, we put the mission statement at the top. So it will feed everything down. So now I'm asking it to write 10 possible blogs. Okay. So you see one you like. So you're like, oh, I like number 7. So you can just cut and paste this, and you can say, write a 600-word SEO blog, because you want the blog to be SEO. That's how people find you on the internet. And you can say, you can just cut and paste the one that you liked, and it will write you a 600-page blog. And trust me, you worry about plagiarism, you can run it through Grammarly. And from my understanding and how I use it, it's not plagiarized. Because if you feel like you're worried about plagiarism, you can always, if you don't have Grammarly, Grammarly is a really good way to do it. Or you can say, is any of this plagiarized? So it's saying it's not. So what you want to do is make sure you just cut and paste it and run it through. There's other plagiarism sites out there. You can just go on Google and get a plagiarism site. But Grammarly is one of them. Grammarly, you can literally, if you go to Grammarly, I have a Grammarly account. I can show you really quick. So what you want to do is, and I would take this article. I will put it in Grammarly, because sometimes the spelling might not be right either. So I'm not logged into my premium account, but I'm only logged into my my training one. But if I go to plagiarism, it has to be, I'm not in the my paid one. But if you go to plagiarism, it will tell you. But it also will help you in your in editing too, because sometimes I've caught grammatical errors, verb is not right, the action, adjective's not right, they use the verb, not an adjective, things like that. So you may definitely want to get Grammarly when you're using this. Put your business, copy paste your business plan, anything you want to do that's going to public. And then you can also, if you got the premium, I think it's like $30 a month, you can literally just, it'll tell you if it's plagiarized. But there's other sites out there that you can do for plagiarism. So now I think I've showed you just about everything you can that's immediate you need. We can now open it up for questions. Daniela, you want to begin?
Yes, we do have a few questions, some in the chat.
Okay.
So I have an interesting question from, I believe, Sarah, and she asks, have you seen individuals use this AI system for government contracting?
Yes. Yes. So I forgot about this. Yes, I have people using the government contract. So what you want to do is, let me give you an example. Give me a second. So I'm going into Emma system. That's the Maryland Marketplace. So I'm going to look at public solicitations, right? That's a good question. Thank you for saying that. So I'm just going to pick a grant. So I'm going to pick this. Let's see. Let's do auditing, accounting, and consulting services. So what I can do is I can just cut and paste here, right? The solicitation. And I can basically, every time it asks you a question, so you can just say kind of like, write a grant contract proposal outline for the following RFP. And that's what it would do. So it would do that. It will give you a scope of work. It will give you, so it will start doing that for you. So if in the grant proposal is asking you a question, so long as you keep up the same mission statements, if it's based on your mission now, whatever it is, so if it's not based on your mission, say you wanted to buy, if they want somebody to be a supplier and they want somebody to buy several HP printers. Well, that's nothing to do with your mission, but you want a government contractor. You can literally open up the contract. You will go here to the contract, you will open the contract up, and you can ask your questions. But yes, you can use it to write a government contract.
Could I chime in here on this one? This is, first of all, absolutely fascinating, mind-blowing. So glad you're doing this. So one of the things I do at FBA is I'm a program manager for CEO Academy. It used to be called Emerging Leaders, now it's Thrive. We had our interviews last week, and I actually was speaking to a CEO of a construction company. And he was saying that his company uses ChatGPT to respond to RFPs, and they actually are winning.
Yes, they're winning. Yes, they are. They are winning.
It just blows my mind away.
Yes.
The whole idea of having a proposal writing team is it's now come down to this, absolutely a game changer.
It's a game changer, yes. And because you can ask it, even when it has the scope of work, if you don't know the compliance requirements and regulations, you can ask it, based on this agency, what is these things? Yeah. And so let me tell you, I'm gonna show you another trick really quick. So if I go back to, let's say go back and pick another one. I forgot, thank you, Nick, you mentioned something that gave me a reminder. So if I go to let's go to this hospital one. I can say, some people don't like to read. I'm one of these people, if it's even though I study law, I still think that a lot of things are just too technical and too legal. So sometimes I will go here, I will cut and paste the link, and I will say, provide a summary. Watch this. And I will just put the link in here. Oh, wait a minute, I did something wrong. Hold on. Because sometimes it may not work. Hold on. Provide a summary of this grant post. Sometimes you gotta be very specific on that thing. So it won't work on this one. So sometimes it will work and sometimes it won't work. If I go into, I think it's because of the system, sometimes it will work, or you can actually pull up the RFP. And so here's a sample of an RFP. If you don't understand what it's saying, or let's try it this way, because I think I have the actual, let's see if it works. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Let's hope today it works. Nope, it won't work. Sometimes it does, it doesn't. So what you can do is for instance, go through this and look, this is a sample proposal, and it will say, so you could just literally cut and paste the statement of work, description of work. Oh, shoot. Excuse me, it's gonna take me a minute. So you can literally take this statement of work and you can say, based on this statement of work, drafts a contract proposal. So now you can take their statement of work, just cut and paste it just like this, right? Don't worry about it. And now it's going to do it. So look, I didn't even tell it the name of the contract. It told me here. It read what I put and put it here. So now it's very specific. Now you see in that it's writing a contract proposal based on what the contract is. You see that? Now it's because most contracts will tell you what they want you to do. It's in the contract, it's in the RFP. They're going to tell you, we want you to do this, we want you to do this, So now if you feel like you're capable of it, it's already telling you what the scope of work is. Now you're going to go back and put it in a format that says, okay, we can do this. And based on what you're saying, we can remap, we can do replacement and installation, we can do, and here's our timeline. We could do it in 45 days. You might want to change it based on that. Contract pricing, that's a little bit different. If a contract is requiring you to provide a contract, pricing, that you're gonna have to do that. A lot of times, a lot of them will give you like the ceiling, like this is what they're high, this is like the minimum and the highest, or they'll say off the bat, this contract is worth $90,000. Right here, so right here, what says right here, any bid exceeding $50,000 will not be considered. So it's already telling you that they're not going to go 50,000. So you can just say, literally say this, copy this into here and say, provide a bid based on this, but make me competitive enough, or something like that. So now it's going to give you what you should, give you an idea of what to bid on. So now it's going to rewrite the bid, and now we're saying 49.9. So you're coming under the 50,000. Does it mean you're going to get it? No, but it'll at least give you an idea to not go over that 50,000. Because if you go to 50,000, you're not going to get it. And if you go at 50,000, most likely you're not going to get it either, because somebody's going to come in at 44 or something, or 45. This is one of the grants you're going to see. It's going to be based on numbers, because they already told you the scope of work. So they don't need to know about the scope of work. They will know, this is what we already telling you what we want done. We want it done no more than $50,000. So now you got to come in and see if you're going to do it. If you can do it, that's 50,000. And it'll give you an idea. To me, this is too high. Because I'm telling you, somebody's going to come in at 46. I'm guaranteed somebody's going to come in at 46, 47. And this is one of them games where it's the lowest bidder, not the quality of work, not everything. If you say you can do it, then if you can't do it, then you got to do with the contract compliance. If you go against the FAR regulations or the contract, you're not doing contract compliance, that's another thing. But that's how you can kind of do it. So you want to see what it tells you. A lot of times you'll see that it'll tell you if anything on 50,000, you would not be considered. So I hope that helps. Any other questions? What you got, Daniela?
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
There's another interesting question from an anonymous attendee. She asked, can you speak a little bit about data privacy? For example, when working with text that contains organization or individual's name, do you remove that sensitive information before entering?
You don't have to. So you can do it. You can do it without putting the person's name, because what can happen, you can say it'll give you like it'll give you like the box in, box out with the name inside of it. You don't have to put a client sensitive information in here. You can just say create a proposal to let me see, to a client regarding installation of windows, right? I didn't put the client's name in here. So what I would do is I would hit enter. It's going to write that thing to the client, and see what says client's name. When you cut and paste it into your Word document, that's when you put the client's name in there. That's the one way to get away with doing that, of putting sensitive information in there. And so it's not, so anytime you'll see this, you have to fill it in. So I would never put a client's personal information in here, because that's a good question. I don't know about the data protection of it. So you can just literally say, from now on, use client's name. And we do that in legal contracts all the time. We may put the client's name at the top, but then going forward, everything beyond this becomes the client's, it'll say client's name or the subscriber's name or the member's name. So you don't have to necessarily put the client's name in there. You could just say client name. And just remember though, when you cut and paste into Word, then you got to go back and put the client's name in there. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
We do have someone, or Stephanie raised her hand, so I'm going to allow her to talk.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I see that you're using the mission at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to manually, I saw that when you did the website, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
If it doesn't automatically work, then you have to like hand copy stuff from like your own website or your own LinkedIn.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So let me see if it's going to do it. So let me take this website that we were working off of, and I say, create a mission statement based on this website. See, sometimes it won't do it, right? Sometimes it just won't. But I'm gonna give you an example of what things it won't work. Let me show you something really quick. Because to me, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's just amazing. So let me just do this. So I can say summarize this article. Sometimes it's one of them things it's AI, so it's not going to be perfect. But again, so sometimes it used to work for me to do this. So I'm not sure why it's not working, but so let me just say this. Hold on. Sometimes if you use the HTTP, let me see. Sometimes if you use some of this stuff, it won't work. Hold on. I could say provide a detailed summary of this article. Then I can say use bullet points. Sometimes you can trick it into doing it. Let's see if it does it. There you go. See?
Thanks.
Yeah. So Stephanie, you have to play with it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so sometimes like I'm stubborn. Don't tell me no, right? So I'm like, you can't ask. So I will say, so sometimes you got to be really specific. You know what I mean? So let's go back to like this mission statement. So you can say provide a mission statement based on article, using bullet points and emojis. So it may work this time. See, now it works. See? So sometimes it's a trial and error. Sometimes you really have to play with it. So you have to really give it more because it's AI and it's not understanding. And so when you wanted to do even like the RFP, you may have to be more specific in what you ask for. So I hope that helps, Stephanie.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Stephanie. Before I pass the ball over to Nicole for her question, I wanted to ask, someone asked, do you attribute ChatGPT as the author if, let's say you're creating an ebook based on, this AI system?
Repeat the question again, Daniela.
So someone asked, do you attribute ChatGPT as the author if you're using ChatGPT to kind of write your script for you?
So I'm not understanding. Are they asking that, are you the author, or I'm not understanding the question?
Yeah, let's say I believe this is how I'm interpreting it.
Okay.
So if let's say you're creating an ebook using ChatGPT, do you attribute ChatGPT as the author, or can you use your name as the author?
No, you're the author. So, okay, that's a good question because of copyright, right? So that's why I tell it is because that's one of the big things I've seen right now is the copyright part of it. Who is the actual owner of the copyright? So that's why I tell you don't use it verbatim, because we like in the US, Library of Congress is the one that kind of mandates the copyright. They don't know, right? Because it's a new thing. So who is the copyright owner, right? So that's why I said just use. I'm really an opponent of just using the outline of your ebook, and then filling it in, because then it becomes yours when you tweak it. So like, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. So you say write an ebook, right? Now, don't forget the spell check. So it's write an ebook, right? So right now, ChatGPT will kind of be the author of it until you do something different. So if you go back and say, now when you go back and you say, you can say, rewrite this based on my level of education, my mission statements, et cetera, et cetera. And then you put your own twist, then you are now become more the control, the author of this than they are. So see how I keep rewriting it. And so the first time it may, but it's tricky because even the Library of Congress doesn't know. So even like, I'm just going to give you an example. You know, people have in college, in high school, have paid people to write their papers. That is really plagiarism, right? It's not really, it's illegal, right? For do that. But when you do the outline and then you write it yourself, then it's not that. So, but again, even the copyright office is still trying to figure out who is the author of this. But if you're feeding it and you're telling it what to do, sometimes you may already, one thing I can tell you about it, you may already start writing it. If you start writing yourself and you can say, I'm going to pretend that I wrote this. Say I wrote this and I don't like what I said. I've already wrote something down, right? And I can say this, I can say, rewrite this to be, to flow better and have more clarity, right? And then I can say also, because you know, this in this paragraph, it's a lot of big words. Then I can say, write it so that a fifth grader can understand. Then it becomes more of you than more of the AI. So see how I took out the big words? And you can keep on to make, so then becomes your authentic voice. And so you can say, this is good, but can you write this so that a college athlete can use, right? So there you go. So now it's more, you telling it, you giving it more direction, then it becomes truly more of you than then. But again, the copyright office doesn't know. It's still, from what I've read in some of the articles I've read, even statements from the Library of Congress, the copyright office, they're still trying to figure out if you just copy it verbatim without making no changes, who was the actual owner. Now, some people feel like, well, if I pay a copywriter, right? Because if you paid to subscribe, then you are paid. So my argument is, what's the difference between that and paying a copywriter? This is your copywriter. You pay for this system. There's no difference to me than going to Fiverr or Upwork or Guru and hire somebody to be. There's no difference than being a ghostwriter. So I hope that kind of answers. They still don't know. And so for me, I look at it as, if you keep feeding it and changing it and twisting it and rewriting it, and like, it becomes more of your writing than ChatGPT. But again, some people have argued in the legal field that it's no different than hiring a copywriter off of Fiverr, or having a ghostwriter, or somebody that you paid to write blogs for you, but it goes under your business name. That's the kind of argument I'm hearing so far. So I hope that somewhat answers your question.
Thank you, Stephanie. That was very informative. I would allow Nicole to ask the last question just based on interest of time.
Okay.
We can potentially have a part 2 of this later if people have more questions. But Nicole, would you want to ask a question?
Hi, thank you for that. And let me know if you cannot hear me.
We can hear you.
You mentioned a lot about, we've been looking at how ChatGPT can create content. What about content you already have, but you want to just kind of, fill in any gaps that may be missing, such as we have a growth plan for our business, and there's some things that we just don't know. Can we input that and see if there's additional information?
Oh, yes. So you can basically, let's take this. Let's go to back to about the founder in this website. And I can just literally say rewrite to include my passion for really working with children with autism. You can feed it. You can so basically I've already written something, but I wanted to enhance it anymore. But I don't know how to word it. I don't know how to word it. You can just say rewrite this to include the following, and it will do it and do it on there.
Okay, thank you.
Does that help, Nicole? So you can just tell it to, like, I have done it where I have written the stuff and I'm like, see, I am guilty of, because of my background, I'm guilty of sometimes being legalese and being too technical. So I would get it to like write it in a way that anybody can understand. So it's still my words, but I'll tell it to rewrite it in a way that somebody in this field can understand. Somebody, even like I said, I always say, you know, it comes from that thing. Are you smarter than a fifth grader, right? So you can always tell it to either dumb it down or dumb it up. I mean, smarten it up, whatever. Or you can just literally cut and paste what you're doing in there and tell it to rewrite it in a way that people can understand.
Okay, great, thanks.
Right. Daniel, I think Nick got his hand up.
Nick,
Yes, I know we're over time here and I don't, and I want to respect everyone's time. I am absolutely blown away. I am glad I didn't do my typical, presentation because we needed every second we could of this. A wonderful demonstration. You guys, your team, DC Women's Business Center, my God, you guys are cutting edges. You do the most useful cutting edge presentation. I just had a thought. I just wanted to share. It's more philosophical and it can't be answered. One of the things I just thought of, this is a game changer for businesses, in so much, particularly small businesses. But one of the things that happens when you actually write, you think, and you actually become, so for example, when you write a growth plan or a business plan, you're actually thinking it, you're being it, whatnot. So I guess my thought is, this is just an ending thought, is if you use ChatGPT, how much of it is, how much of it are you actually going to implement? How much of it is actually coming from you? And that's just more of a philosophical kind of thought question that I had. If you say, hey, write me a 3 or 5 year growth plan versus actually doing it, for yourself, there's a thinking process that's involved. And my concern is that lost when you do this?
That's a good point, because like I said, most people are going to do it and they're not going to implement stuff. So that's a kind of a good question. Let me think about it a little bit more, because one thing I've seen too, we get inundated. We keep having to create stuff and we're not going to implement it. And so,
yeah, and I know there's probably not an answer. I think that's just an open question, which is going to be like, which is going to kind of guide us. And it's like an open question as ChatGPT becomes a part of our lives, because I know that kids are using it, in school to write their essays and to do their homework. So, is it actually, there's some larger implications, but that's probably not for this,
Well, Nick, I mentioned it too, though, like in the school system, because I'm coming from, I taught in school for a while, and for them, they're going to, it's the plagiarism. They're not, a lot of, some of these middle school and high school students don't understand that, that some of these teachers can actually run their papers through plagiarism. So you're still going to have to, it's the same old thing when you pen, I remember the days when I was in school, the jock will pay somebody to write their papers for them. And the teacher, and I know, when as being, I taught in public school for 3 years, I know the difference. Because this is not the kind of paper you wrote in September. So that's the thing, like, even like when you're writing for your business, people can tell if you're authentic or not. So just kind of be mindful when you're using this, because one thing you said that caught my attention, you still got to be able to think about what you're saying. So like if you're going to write a blog article on something, on a subject matter, something, and then people are calling, you can't answer it. So that's why I said you really has to be your voice, your thing like that.
Thank you so much. Really,
Okay.
really awesome.
Thank
And
you.
that's coming from my education, from the teacher. The teacher thing is like people still gonna, they know the difference. They will know. They know if you're authentic or somebody else wrote it for you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Oh, I have one last question.
Mhm.
How do you actually save all of this information?
It saves here. So remember here. So
Yes.
so it will save your chat. So if I go to a new chat, it'll still be here. So I'll just have to click here. So you can start a new chat and you know, you can say, create me a new business idea or something. I don't know. And then it'll still be here. So now see, it creates a new chat and you can change the title. So like if I go back, let me stop here so I can show you. So you can always like change the title. And you can say 2023 business planning. It'll save here for a while. And if you want to go back to it, you can clearly go back to it. So you can change the chat to whatever you want to do. You can, you know, so that way you will know. So that's how you can go back to it.
Perfect. Thank you, Stephanie. I know we are way over
Okay.
time. If there is an interest in having a part 2, again, let me know and we will put something together in the next few weeks. But I do appreciate you guys for all being here. If you are interested in the one-on-one with Stephanie, I've put in the chat where you can register for a one-on-one session with her. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stephanie, any last words before we leave?
No, it's just like Nick said, it's a game changer, especially for those who have writer's block, don't have the funds necessary to hire a copywriter or go things like that. A lot of times we don't push our business forward because we get stuck on these things. We can't move forward. And this is definitely going to save you time so you can do what you want to do. What you want to do in the first place is go out there and get the customers, make your money, and survive and thrive. So it'll be a game changer. So you don't spend 2 days trying to figure out how to write a mission statement, how to write a vision statement. It's really going to save you time. And I think this is going to be a game changer when it comes to helping you decide when you're going to grow your business. And so now you can even set it to be your own virtual assistant. I didn't even get onto how you can use it to do funnels, to marketing funnels, how to do email newsletters. You could do so much things with this that you can actually tell it to write 7 emails for your email funnel. And then you're done. Then all you take those emails, go to your funnel system and put it in there and you're done. That's 10 minutes out of your way. Now you can focus on something else. So just keep in mind, it's you know, anything people say is cheating. No, we've been doing this for years. It's just another way of doing it. A lot of stuff right now is running on AI, believe it or not. When you watch cable, when you stream in your Netflix, all that is run through digital and AI, artificial intelligence. And so this is a one way, because you still got to go out there and make the sales. You still got to make the service, the products. So keep it in mind is that I hope that you find it useful. So that way, if you've been stuck in this area, you can now take care of this stuff and move on. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Stephanie. I hope you all have a wonderful week.